Good evening and welcome to Omnibroslive. Happy Thor's Day, as Mr. Awesome said. I'm Omnidog from Omnidog's Vault on YouTube. To that side is completely in the dark, Comics Guide 101's Lou.
Hey, how's it going? Good.
I'm glad we can hear you.
Thank you.
Lou had some plastic surgery done on his face. He is now a 6'5" white guy. So he's going to have the bandages taken off later.
Yes, I'm hoping it improves my credit score.
And below us, but not below us, he's above us all, is the Omnibus Collector himself, Ryley Mo. What is up, my brother? Nintendo 64. Right on, man.
I saw my family this past weekend, had a long Easter weekend, and we hadn't seen each other since September. So it was basically like Christmas gift exchange a few months late. And I already mailed out all my Christmas gifts. My mom's like, I got you guys some stuff that's a little too big for me to mail, because she bought me like lights for my videos and whatnot.
Oh, cool.
My sister bought me a bunch of t-shirts, including this one.
Nice.
And I told her, like, believe it or not, I was going to buy this shirt myself like a month ago. She was like, nice.
Perfect.
So it worked out.
Very nice.
So we're here to argue tonight, right?
First, we're going to talk about, let's see, InStockTrades.com, our fabulous sponsor, where you can get your collected editions up to 50% off. Loyalty discounts add 2% to that. There's always a $50 gift card given away at the end of every month on this show to a lucky viewer out there in a completely randomized drawing that is unbiased. And I'm totally lying about that. Oh, wait, did I say that out loud? $50 or more in an order will get you free shipping in the US of A. Fabulous customer service, fabulous packaging. That's In Stock Trade. Whoa. InStockTrades.com. Oof. I had a pothole on that song.
I'm just enjoying a nice fruit by the foot.
Nice.
It's a whole 3 feet of fruity goodness.
I'm having a fruit bar. I'm having a protein bar.
That's not nearly as exciting.
I know. I feel like I'm losing this argument already.
Yeah, let me put this away. All right. We're good to go.
Stop the banner.
So
here's a good banner. The Golden Kirkman. I can't wait to get that out. We should get that out every month.
Well, it's like a monthly like silver Kirkman or something.
Yeah, a silver Kirkman. Oh my gosh, that's such a great idea.
We know this year's four front runners, so for the Golden Kirkman.
There's already 4 front runners for the Golden Kirkman.
There's a book that is very distinctly at the top of the list for the Golden Kirkman, I think, for most of us.
Okay, I'm sure I will agree with you. But what are the 4 there in the dark blue?
Oh, I messed that up. I mean, just one book that is the top runner for Golden Kirkman, and that would be the Spider-Man book that we had to read.
Holy smoke! We may need to rename that award.
That's the Platinum Kirkman.
I was thinking it might be the Golden Abrams Award.
Oh my god! Yeah, because Kirkman's actually been putting out some good stuff lately, so I think the Golden Abrams Award might be what we change it to, because that book was, oof.
Oh, yeah. Gosh, I don't know. Should I feel bad for him? I mean, he's living a great life.
No,
famous,
he's fine.
Rich father. No, I shouldn't feel bad.
No, he's fine.
I'm picking on a kid, though. But he totally.
I mean, it's not like he's 12 or something.
He's 23. He's 23. He's a grown man. He can legally drink.
Okay, that is a good point. Gary Sandberg says, "Did you hear what people did for you, Jess?" No. I know they spammed Tyler Blunt's SSD channel with "free the hostage" hashtags. So if that's what you're talking about, I did hear about that. Thank you. If that's what you're talking about, because I got a very fake angry text from him that said he was outraged and showed me a screenshot, like he had 45 people sending him "free the hostages" hashtags. So pre-show Omnidog, no, I still don't have the hostages. They haven't been released. So we're going on over 2 months. Yeah, I thought it was funny too. Tyler was very upset for him. Yeah, these hostages need to be freed, man. 2 months in somebody's house. He has time to play with his toys, but no time to go to the post office. I call BS on that. Lionheart, how you doing? Yeah, it's the 3 original bros. Here we are. Well, 2.5. You're hearing Lou's voice because of that surgery he had. Jess, did you see Something is Killing the Children getting a deluxe hardcover? I did hear that, and I heard what is the other book that's so good? Once in Future? I heard that's getting a hardcover too. I will upgrade because I only have the first volume of each, so I'm cool with upgrading.
I feel like I'm really out of the loop.
What's that?
I feel like I'm really out of the loop. Because I haven't heard about any of the new news for stuff.
I haven't either, really. I think the Minister of Comics is the one who had to tell me about those releases, because I don't see Brooks posts anymore.
I was watching Omar's April releases video just to figure out like how much stuff I wanted to get this month. And he mentioned something in there about Flash Jeff Johns Volume 3, and I was like, I'm not going to find out what's in that book until the solicit happens, because I'm not online, so I can't. I went and Googled, but there's nothing out there. So,
well, I thought there was just 2 volumes of that Flash Johns.
Right, and they apparently recently there was I'm guessing it was leaked somewhere because it didn't show up anywhere. If I Googled, it wasn't on anything, that there's going to be a 3rd one. And what I would assume is that the 3rd one is going to be basically his return and like the return of Barry. So I would guess, and if the contents are out there, it'd be really interesting to see if I'm correct. I'm going to guess it has the Final Crisis Rogues miniseries, Flash Rebirth, the 3-issue Blackest Night miniseries, the Secret Files and Origins issue from like 2011, 2012, and then the 12-issue Flash series that he wrote with Manipul on artwork, and then maybe the main Flashpoint event, like that 5 issues. That's what I would assume is going to be in there.
I didn't know. I don't remember the Johns and Manipul's 12-issue series. I want to. Oh, Tevin Lawrence says spot on Ryley. Wow.
Yes.
Ryley doesn't even have access to the internet, and he's nailing it. Final Crisis,
Boom.
Revenge, Flash Rebirth 1 through 6, Flash 1 through 12. That must be that Jeff Johns thing. I mean, since it is Jeff Johns' book, I meant Jeff Johns and Manipul. Blackest Night, the Flash 1 through 3, Flash Rebirth 1, Blackest Night, Black Lantern Corps Volume 2, number 1, The Flash Secret Files and Origins 2010, number 1, and Flashpoint 1 through 5.
I forgot the Black Lantern Corps issue had a short story that would fit with all this stuff. So yes, that's awesome.
Look at you.
I literally just rattled
naming
that
off
off.
the-
I still got it.
Yeah, you sure do. You didn't even have it in front of you.
Nice.
That doesn't matter pre-show. I ordered the sword from China for Grimlock, and I already this already came, and it came from China. It was stuck in the Suez Canal for 3 months, and it still came. So that's not. I don't know. You can make all the excuses you want for T-Lar Bloom, but no, it's not happening. Thank you, Tyler Hacker. My wife said, that's a nice shirt. And I said, thank you. And she said, that's new, huh? And I said, oh, yeah. She said, I can tell because you didn't iron it and the fold marks are still in it. So I got busted for a new shirt.
I swear I've seen that one before.
Not on me. It's I think it's the cover to an omnibus.
Yeah, it's one of the Golden Age.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so Jess tells me
you just want to argue.
Yes, I do. Because
so
Jess,
up to argue.
You tell me this morning, like, I asked you, what are we talking? Like, are you doing the show? Yeah. What do you want to talk about? To be fair, I did say, like, let's argue about something.
Yes.
And I don't remember, was it me or you saying, like, who's worthy of lifting the hammer? And then immediately, like, I didn't think you were going to throw anything out there, but immediately you're like, Scarlet Witch, and she should be the only one to lift it. And I was like, hold up, what? And you gave me like 2 inklings of what your thought process was on this. And I was like, okay, like I kind of see where you're coming from there, but like I don't think I've ever seen anyone make that suggestion. Like everyone's always like, well, Captain America, obviously, and Superman and Wonder Woman have done it. But no one's ever like, yeah, Wanda Maximoff, she would lift the hammer and she'd be the only one. So I don't even know if I want to argue against you. I just want to know, like, is this because, and I asked you, I was like MCU or 616? Because I was like, if he's saying MCU, it might be a joke with you just being like, oh, because I love Elizabeth Olsen. And I'd be like, okay, all right, Jess, whatever. But you doubled down. You were like, both MCU and 616, both of them.
And I cited the Scarlet Witch saving the world through James Robinson's book, Scarlet Witch, where she cured magic, which was broken. So she basically saved the world, and I feel redeemed herself and became worthy of the hammer. But
I like the point.
Okay, thank you. Maybe we need to establish what makes one worthy, or Mjolnir itself, because here is Silver Surfer wielding it.
Right.
Jane Foster has wielded it. Captain America and Beta Ray Bill and
Spider-Man, I think, has wielded it at some point.
Oh, really? Okay, Spider-Man.
I think he has.
Spider-Man's wielded it. Okay.
If he hasn't, I would honestly argue that most of the time that Peter Parker probably would be worthy.
Yeah.
And okay, so let's establish this. What makes one worthy of Mjolnir?
Hold on one second. I like Atit Patel's comment. I thought this would be over which Omnibros with the hammer. That one's easy. It's Geo.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's Geo.
Geo's the only one that could lift the hammer.
Of all of us, Geo's the most worthy. That one's easy.
Oh yeah, the hammer would spit on me. Yeah. No. He's. Is it the quality of the? Is it the quality of the person, or what? Let's set a standard here for what makes one worthy and what makes one unworthy.
So is because there's kind of two thoughts that I would have in the immediate realm of like worthiness, and one of those two is it the same standards as like, and Lou might know what I'm talking about here, the Nimbus cloud from Dragon Ball, where like only the pure of heart can fly on the cloud. I don't think that that's the way it goes with Mjolnir, because I wouldn't necessarily say that some of these characters are pure of heart, but that was just the first thought I had, was those who are pure of heart.
That doesn't make sense.
The second
Silver Surfer would definitely not fit that category considering his background, though.
Yeah, and that's also why I'm thinking like that wouldn't work. It's just the first thing that popped in my head, but I don't think it works for Thor either, because I wouldn't really consider him to be pure of heart. But the second thought, the basic idea that I had was, would it be more something about your selflessness? Someone who's completely selfless, who would be willing to sacrifice themselves for a greater cause, would they be the ones that are worthy?
Gio's right. We lost Jess at Nimbus.
Sorry.
What's the inscription say? Oh, the inscription here says,
he whoever is worthy,
if he be worthy,
yeah,
wait. Whosoever holds the hammer is,
if he be worthy,
shall possess the power of Thor. Well, okay, yeah, there's the worthy part. What makes him worthy?
I think one of the explanations that's popped up has been like, it's the worthiness according to Odin. So whatever Odin believed would make Thor worthy would allow him to wield the hammer and allow him to use those abilities.
Okay.
But what does Odin believe is worthy?
And Odin's kind of dead now, isn't he?
No. Shit. No, I'm not gonna say anything because you're not caught up yet.
No, I'm way behind on.
Yeah.
I told Ryley that I am so far behind that I want to make that one of my priorities this year, and it's already April, that I get caught up on everything through War of the Realms. So it's not going to spoil it for me if you say he's alive again. That's okay.
Yeah, he's back.
Okay, well, he was dead for a little while, and Scarlet Witch had it because she saved the world because of magic, and then she passed it to Captain Marvel because Captain Marvel looks really good when Adam Hughes draws her.
I will agree with that.
So,
and she likes really good sub sandwiches.
So Scarlet Witch, though, do you? So I guess like what did we establish? So do we think it's just like the selflessness? Do we think that it's something about just the amount of good that you're accomplishing? Because obviously, like, she had done some pretty uncool things,
Right?
Especially going back to like House of M and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The fallout of that was pretty disastrous. You could even say that it decimated the mutant population.
Yeah.
But then fast forward about 10 years plus, 15 years, whatever it was, and when James Robinson is writing her solo series, and she does come out and save magic. And this is a huge deal for anyone who wasn't familiar reading those storylines. When Secret Wars happened, the Jonathan Hickman series, and Reed, Molecule Man, and Franklin go off to rebuild Marvel's multiverse, we have science-minded people who are rebuilding the multiverse, and there's no magic because it's, they're science-minded people. And this had ripple effects after Secret Wars that you saw immediately in Doctor Strange. where Doctor Strange was no longer having access to the magic and stuff that he had before. And so there was a lot of storylines that spun out directly after the Secret Wars event that dealt with this. And it wound up having, you know, Scarlet Witch having a big role in fixing this. And so basically the argument being that Scarlet Witch would be able to wield Mjolnir because of this. And is this because just like her good deed of fixing magic is enough to warrant that? Or did she have to sacrifice a lot to make that happen? And if she gets it, does she become just Thor, or is it like a Volstagg becoming the War Thor type of situation, and she can be the Chaos Thor? Like, what are we thinking here?
I love Chaos Thor, but every time in Marvel, actually, I think it's also in DC's universe, that every time you use magic, you lose something. Magic comes with a cost. So
Right.
she, in saving the world by fixing magic, she had to use enough magic that she risked her life and put her life in the, not in the future, but the life she would continue to lead would continue to be in danger because of all the magic she used. She would continually pay a price for.
Okay. I don't have a problem with this idea at all. Like, I think that I was so caught off guard because I've never heard anyone make that argument that she would be worthy. And I think that there's a lot to be said for exactly what you're saying. Like, it is very selfless what she had done at that point. And despite the fact that she had been wrapped up in so much negative things in the past, if anything, that's a huge redemption arc. Not to say she wasn't at least partially redeemed for that in other team books and other titles that she had appeared in, but it's definitely takes her a long way. And I can see that. I don't have a very good argument against the idea that she would be unworthy. But I do want to see someone like draw this and make a Chaos Thor. Like, can you imagine, like, she's like, you know, levitating with Mjolnir in one hand, or not even in one hand, just like floating above her hand.
Mjolnir's like floating from back and forth in her hands
with a crimson helmet, similar to like Jane's, that like covers the face, but it's crimson and has like the Scarlet Witch like horns on the front. Holy shit, man!
That's a great idea.
Chaos Thor. Someone go tell Donny Cates or something.
Yeah, well, that goes with Tyler Blunt's idea of Magic Avengers, where we need Magic Avengers. Magic Avengers. That's his greatest idea ever, and I love the idea of a Magic Avengers comic.
But you said something else earlier. Is you were like, and she should be the only one. But that's not what I'm hinging on. What I was about to say is, oh yeah, and also magic should also be able to wield the hammer. Talking about Ilyana.
Oh, yeah. My argument for that isn't as strong as it is for Wanda. It more has to do with the fact that I have a cartoon crush on magic. I use the argument, and it's a wonder I ever get laid with this level of nerdiness. This is really embarrassing. I was thinking of it more as a tool, a weapon for her, because she's the one that's in charge of security for Krakoa. Not solely, but she's the one they turn to first for security on Krakoa, and that not necessarily as a weapon of war, but she's willing to put her life on the line for Krakoa by putting herself in a position where she is in constant danger by defending the nation state, the newly formed nation state. Arguably, that's not as strong as my Wanda argument, but I had just seen a variant cover of Magic, and it stuck in my head for all morning. So, and yeah, Carly's actually kind of right. Worthy of Jess's love equals worthy to wield Mjolnir.
Oh,
yeah,
that's adorable.
I get where you're coming from on that one. Like I see where the argument is, because it's basically just loyalty to country and like the willingness to put your life on the line at any point.
Right.
But then like at that point, you would also be able to argue for anyone else that's like, I don't know, like anyone who I guess is that loyal to their home or to their country or whatever. And I mean, we do have Captain America wielding it, and is that like what made? I wouldn't say that that's what made Cap worthy. I would say, you know, Cap has just a lot of redeeming qualities, and his mentality is always towards what's positive, and not trying to not having any selfish bone in his body,
right,
for the most part.
Yeah.
But would you say like someone like taking the MCU stance, the character that they've built up John Walker to be so far, like would he fit the same? Because he kind of fits the same bill as what you're saying about Ilyana, in that he's fighting for his country, but he's also kind of a dick.
Yeah.
I have to admit I haven't seen anything but the first episode, and all I saw was the reveal of the grandpa from Up with Cap's helmet. I don't know. I don't know anything about John Walker. Actually, in the 616 or in MCU, I don't know much about John Walker, so I can't participate in that argument. I will say that I can tell you who's not worthy. And because I think that the more I read about him currently, his current writing from, I don't know, maybe 2015 or earlier than that onwards, is I think Reed Richards is really a dick, and I don't think he's worthy at all.
Oh yeah, total asshole. Yeah, complete asshole.
He is an awful parent.
Yep.
And he's a terrible person in the Council of Reeds and everything. I just found him to be utter lacking in any redeeming qualities other than the fact that he had a big brain.
That was Hickman's whole run. Reed has daddy issues.
Well, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
That was a huge
like, crux
of his run.
I think like, yeah, his entire character is like the fact that the whole solve everything deal is like, not only does he show that he knows every problem that needs to be solved and how to solve it, but he begins to show that like he will do anything to solve those things. And that's really what we saw from the Council of Reeds, was like even worse versions of himself in a lot of places, who are the ones that are more willing to do heinous things to solve the issues that they come up with. Right. So our Reed's a dick, but he's not like that level of undesirable. 616 Reed, I should say.
Okay. Yeah. Who else is popular? Do you consider unworthy? I mean, I forget now. Of course I just read the book. Well, wait, I don't know that I read. Wait, I read Cosmic Universe And does Surfer get the hammer in Cosmic Universe?
He gets it in Donny Case's run of Thanos.
Yeah, when in
Of Thor?
Thanos. No, Thanos.
Thanos. Okay, so he did get it. I did read it. I need to read it again because I only read it once. I need to read things a couple times. What made him worthy of the hammer, considering he's considered the fallen one?
Shit, I forgot what it was. He went through like a whole thing in that series.
Okay.
And I think you see, don't you see a lot of it kind of, I mean, you see a lot of how he gets from point A to B in the events of Silver Surfer Black.
Okay.
And doesn't that lead into, it's been a while because I read them in singles. But it seems like something that's more like in a time of desperation, I guess, which that is actually exactly why Superman was able to wield it back during JLA Avengers. Was it was a time where like the him being able to or not able to wield the hammer was the difference between the Avengers and the Justice League winning or losing. And that was why in that moment, but as soon as that battle ended, Superman could no longer lift the hammer. So there are a lot of instances where people are granted temporary worthiness, and it's not so much their character, but it's the situation that they fall in.
Okay.
I'm gonna say, sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was gonna recommend T'Challa as being worthy. King of Wakanda.
See that?
Noble.
Yeah, MCU T'Challa or 616 T'Challa?
A 616 T'Challa.
616. Okay. I can't take part in that one either because I've never read a Black Panther book that I liked, except for the Secret Invasion book, and that was like 3 issues.
Also, Moon Girl.
Hell of a 3 issues.
I would say Moon Girl.
Oh,
okay.
Moon Girl. That's interesting.
She's innocent. She's really innocent. She's a kid. She's pure of heart, and she just wants to do what's best for the world.
The first person that says Squirrel Girl in the chat is getting booted.
I knew that was coming.
Okay. Yeah. She's a good person.
Mm-hmm.
I would say Nick Fury, definitely not.
Yeah, anyone that like is likely or is definitely guilty of 4 crimes.
Right.
So what you're saying is the Punisher will never be able to lift Mjolnir.
What about Cosmic Ghost Rider? He's nuts.
I wouldn't say that any version of the Punisher should be able to, because it's I don't know that where do we draw the line with the worthiness? Like I don't, because like he's doing what he thinks is right, but is it what like a god would think is right? Is it what Odin would think is right? Does Odin, would he respect the fact that Frank is like so adamant in his war on crime, or would he be like, no, dude, like that's too far?
Yeah, I agree. You have to draw the line somewhere.
I'm honestly asking, like, where is it? Like, where do you draw the line?
Frank Castle and Wolverine are the line.
I could see that. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just taking a look at my action figures and seeing who else.
What about Scott Summers? Scott Summers.
I don't know.
I wouldn't say Scott Summers.
Yeah.
I would argue against, like, just from his, like, the same reason that you could argue against Charles Xavier, like the insistence of using children as cannon fodder.
Yeah.
That doesn't really send me to believe that Scott would be worthy. Now Aurora was at one point, so that's something to consider. But let me raise you. Let me take your Black Panther and your Moon Girl and your Scott Summers and your Frank Castles, and I'm gonna raise you Swamp Thing.
Oh wait,
whom I
wait. So
believe-
we're crossing publishing lines at this point.
I will cross, like we can cross into movies and shit. Like I don't
Godzilla.
like I don't, not that I think Godzilla would be worthy, but like I mean, hey, maybe. But no, Swamp Thing though. I'm talking DC stuff. And we can talk any universe, any publisher. This is the like Earth's guardian, the avatar of the green here. Like I believe strongly, like I would be strongly in the camp of the fact that Swamp Thing would be able to wield Mjolnir easily. There's not even a question. And I think that we can, like, there's two different arguments. Number one, you're talking about Alec Holland as the character of the Swamp Thing and everything that he's done, and just his role as the guardian of the planet should be able to wield Swamp Thing. But number two, as an elevator can lift Mjolnir, I think that a tree could also lift Mjolnir. So there's the two sides of. Oh, we lost Lou. I think my argument just forced him away. He's like, I gotta go ponder Swamp Thing for a minute now. But I couldn't think of an argument against Swamp Thing. Like
No, I agree with you on that. That's a good observation.
He's such a because he's such a force of good in protecting Earth. And it wouldn't even be a situational type of thing. It wouldn't be one of those like, well, if he needed it, then he could. And I also think that Swamp Thing would wind up being like a really cool character to like see all thored out and stuff.
Yeah.
Like I was talking about with Scarlet Witch and like her potential costume. Like, could you imagine just having like his vines and leaves like form everything, and the ability to like move Mjolnir around through the green?
Through the green, yeah.
But that would be my strongest argument. My weaker argument, but also my favorite character,
Animal Man.
Animal Man.
Oh wait, let me highlight you so we can see that Animal Man.
My brother-in-law got me this one. I think this is from the 2-pack with B'wana Beast, but he had bought it used, so it didn't come with B'wana Beast.
That is awesome.
So obviously, I'm very biased because this is my favorite character. But another thing that I'm very biased with is like when a character puts their family above everything else, I think that that's like the best aspect of a character. And Buddy Baker, like one of the first things that really made me a fan of him as a character when I was reading back with Morrison's Animal Man is how important his home life is to him. You know, his wife and his children are the top priority. And that's something that you don't always get with like superhero comics, because most superheroes are not even kind of allowed to have a family. And we've gotten a little bit more of that as time has gone on, you know, in recent comics with Superman and John and stuff like that. But I feel like he's such a pure character. He's driven by wanting to succeed and do everything for his family. He's a superhero, but he has a job because he needs to provide for his family. He's a stunt actor and stuff in film. He has a very strong moral compass where he will stick to whatever he believes in. As obviously as Animal Man and his connection to the red and all of animal life. Buddy is a vegan, and he's extremely like forward on protecting the you know, the life on Earth and stuff. And obviously in kind of the same way as Swamp Thing is, as they are the two pieces of that same coin with the green and the red. But I mean, there could be argument against that, but I think I believe I would want Buddy to be worthy, because it's just a character where I'm like, yeah, man, you deserve that. You can have the hammer.
I think those are all strong points.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Lou? Who do you feel passionately could wield the hammer? Because you said you were going to need to do some research.
Yeah, this was a tough one. I had originally come up with Moon Girl and the ones that I had already said, but I didn't anticipate us crossing party lines. So you're gonna have to kind of come back to me on that for a few minutes and let me think about that one.
Do you think there would be some sort of conflict with someone being too young to wield it, like not having an understanding of the power that they're holding?
I mean,
Because we've never seen.
a frog can wield it, so
There you go. I'm like trying to. Let me make a fun argument. Frogs. God damn it. I'm gonna go out and just say some characters who can't wield it. Tony Stark cannot wield Mjolnir.
No.
Bruce Wayne cannot wield Mjolnir.
No.
Nope. Absolutely not.
I think that of the Robins, Dick, probably Tim, maybe, and that's it.
Wait, what about Damien?
He's
No.
raised by assassins.
No.
He's a vegan.
He-Man. He-Man would be able to wield Mjolnir.
He-Man would be able to wield it.
James Abel makes a good point. Just had Grimlock. Grimlock might be able to use Mjolnir. Free the hostages.
Now, how about characters who are like OP, like overpowered characters? Like, what would you say about like Dr. Manhattan, with a character who has like pretty much reality manipulation at their hand?
Well, I mean, Franklin Richards can already break reality with the snap of his fingers, so I think it's just he wouldn't even care.
Would Franklin Richards be able to beat Dr. Manhattan?
In what? Ping pong?
Game of chess. No, like in a bout of fisticuffs.
Oh, wow.
I'm gonna
Like
say yes.
if they were to have to fight against each other.
Yes.
Wait, you're saying that Franklin could?
Yes. Franklin Richards rewrote the MCU with Molecule Man. Not the MCU, the Marvel Comics.
Right.
He literally rewrote the entire universe with Molecule Man after Hickman's run.
And I'm not taking a side on that because I brought up the argument itself, but like because Dr. Manhattan is supposed to have been responsible for rewriting the DC universe and being the one that kind of created the changes from Flashpoint, Rebirth, and all that jazz.
Have you seen the job Dr. Manhattan did? That's the job of that's the job of a bad temp who was pissed off that he has to show up to work that morning.
That's like the best argument that you could have in this. I can't argue it because like the New 52 was so fucked and backwards.
Pharaoh Lad definitely could. Darkhawk, no.
Mm.
So, okay, we agree that the hostages need to be freed. And J. Jonah Jameson, I don't think he could wield it.
King Kong.
Bundy?
No, just King Kong.
Oh, King Kong Bundy was a wrestler. Sorry.
I knew who you were talking about, but
I thought you said Gumby, and I was going to say, yeah, Gumby could.
Gumby could wield it.
dude, Gumby would wreck some motherfuckers.
While he's riding Pokey, and he changes Pokey into like a stallion, kind of like He-Man does with his battle cat. Come on, this shit writes itself.
Pokey with like wings and stuff.
Yes.
Gumby's like armor would be created from his own body.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Where's Matthew Mangi? Is he in the chat? Matthew, we need a picture of Pokey getting ridden by Gumby wielding Mjolnir with wings on Pokey and Gumby creating his own armor. Darn it, I don't think Matthew's in the chat.
I didn't know I needed this. Damn. But what about King Kong? Now we know Gumby, but what about King Kong?
I don't know what King Kong or I don't know what motivates King Kong. What does motivate him?
Tall buildings and ladies in red dresses.
White women.
That's always your answer.
I mean, it's a good motivator.
That and hoagies.
Oh God, I want a hoagie.
Has Baby Groot been discussed yet? I haven't read a lot of Baby Groot, so I don't know his attributes. I know Teenage Groot, probably not. Hal Jordan.
I'm gonna say a no for that one.
Yeah, that's a no.
And not even with the parallax thing. Like Hal as a personality, like is not exactly the. I don't know. Like I wouldn't put that on him.
I just read a great book, Green Lantern, Planet of the Apes crossover.
That looked pretty interesting. I didn't read it though.
Oh, so good.
Did you get the one with the cool cover?
Yeah. Shoot, I think it's out in the other room. I can go get it. You do have to know a lot about. I mean, you have to have seen the very first movie with Charlton Heston in it, because
Right.
that's the apes world that the Green Lanterns visit. It's really good. The art can get a little wonky in it, but for the most part, it's pretty good. But it's weird. Like a lot of panels are really good, and then in one panel, I'm like, oh, it looks like he fell asleep at his desk or something. It was like, what happened there? But for the most part, the art's really good, but the story is solid.
I had seen recently, like on the topic of Green Lantern, this guy that was like trying to talk about what type of music all of the like Justice League members listen to.
Oh.
And they were like, with Hal Jordan, they're saying something about like arena rock and stuff like that, I think was the answer. And I was like, dude, how does your first answer not automatically go to the Top Gun soundtrack on repeat?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Test pilot. Yeah.
Yep.
Like I can't imagine if Hal at any time that he's doing anything is listening to music, I can't imagine that it's not Kenny Loggins blaring. Like he probably has willpower created earbuds that he's wearing as he flies around in space, just jamming the Danger Zone constantly.
Yeah, Hal strikes me as the kind of guy who's a Poison fan.
A hair metal fan?
He's a hair metal fan. He's definitely a Motley Crue, Striper, Rat kind of fan.
Those are some good name checks right there. What did you make TikTok videos about this, Ryley?
I made one just to say that like you were talking about Scarlet Witch because it was so out of left field to me. But your argument is really solid. Like I don't see like why that wouldn't work. You know, like it just seems like something where yeah, she would be able to do that. Do you think she would in the MCU though?
Bruce Wayne would listen to grunge.
I don't trust Bruce Wayne. He doesn't like pie.
He'd be a grunge guy.
Well, I like grunge.
I think Bruce would be like into metal, but only like secretly. Like he would feel like he shouldn't listen to that music, grunge, metal, death metal, anything like that. And so like as soon as like one of the kids walks into the room, he switches it over to like classical. And he's like, what? And like the only person that really knows is Alfred, that's what he actually like listens to. And so Alfred will like do things. He never says it because he knows that Bruce is embarrassed of it, but like he'll do things to just kind of hint at it and like make little comments about like, you know, different band names and song titles. And Bruce every once in a while is like, he doesn't know.
Martian Manhunter? Martian Manhunter? J-pop.
J-pop.
I could see him being a J-pop fan. I mean, are we just gonna get the obvious one out of the way? Cyborg, hardcore gangster rap, and probably techno.
I said Barry Allen is into like prog rock.
I could see that
because he's like a nerd and he's into things that are very complex. And prog rock and stuff like that would be something that appeals to his ideal for something that's that has that complex nature to it. Something that like when, especially like this would be before he even had his powers. That would be what I think he would be into. But once he did get his powers, it allowed him to kind of take it in a lot slower and appreciate the layers and the intricacies of the music that he's listening to. So I think he would like it even more once he becomes the Flash.
I've been speaking of prog rock. I've been binge listening to Alan Parsons Project for the past week.
I really only know Sirius and Eye in the Sky.
Oh, okay.
Alan Parsons Project. And I listened to Sirius so many times over and over and over and over again, just because I was using it like jokingly. If I'd walk into the room, I'd be like, and here he is, your man. That now it started coming up on like most recent or most played things on Spotify.
Yeah.
But honestly, like while it's fun, Sirius is only like half as fun if it's by itself than if you listen to it going into Eye in the Sky. Is my opinion.
Well, I would never argue against someone's opinion on their taste in music because that is your taste. I've been listening to everything from the very beginning to like, because I really like the first 5 albums. His first album was really popular when I was a senior in high school. So that shows you how long he's been around. That was the one.
Would Alan Parsons be able to wield Mjolnir?
That's a good question.
It's a really good question. He's just an engineer. I mean, does he really write the songs?
All right, Power Rangers.
Apache Chief would listen to lo-fi hip-hop.
Of the original 6 Rangers, which ones would be or would not be worthy?
Red Ranger. No, Blue Ranger. Blue Ranger would be worthy.
I don't know the Power Rangers. I know the Turtles, but I don't know the Power Rangers.
That was going to be my next one. Like which so
turtle?
I agree with Lou. I would say that Billy would be able to wield it. Next in line would probably be Kimberly, and then Zach, and then Trini, and then Jason, and then Tommy. And Tommy's got a lot of baggage there, so that's why I'm putting him there at the bottom. The Turtles.
Leonardo, easy.
Leonardo, very much.
Yeah.
Leonardo has the senses of responsibility.
Yep.
He is the leader. He's the one that, you know, is always the most responsible about of the bunch. Obviously, Raphael is the hothead, and I feel like he's not exactly going to have that worthiness of him. Michelangelo is a little too wild card. He's like the Charlie Day of the group. And Donatello could maybe, like, Donatello would be in an emergency, he'd definitely be able to.
He's the computer turtle, right? Yeah.
Donatello would make his own, like,
Mjolnir.
His own Mjolnir. He would make, like, be like, oh no, someone crushed Mjolnir, like, you know, in Ragnarok or something, and he's like, I'm gonna make a new one, and he'd make a like computerized version of Mjolnir that only works when Leonardo picks it up.
Here's a good one. I think Lou is gonna like this one too. Chris' original recipe says, which Muppet could wield the hammer?
I mean,
Swedish chef.
Kermit. Oh God, I would love
Beaker.
that. Can I just say I'm so happy we live in a society that Swedish Chef has not been canceled yet for being a stereotype of a Swedish person? Because it's coming, folks. It's coming.
Oh, I hope not. No.
Hashtag not my Swedish Chef. It's coming.
There's gonna be like an SNL skit where they talk about like Swedish Chef being canceled and out of a job and stuff.
Oh my gosh, that'd be great.
Yep.
And you'll see the new version that they use, and it's just like American Chef.
American Chef.
They're
It's
like
just
in an
Bobby Flay.
IKEA making meatballs.
Who's the dude from Flavor Town? Wait, who's the dude from Flavor Town?
Oh, Guy Fieri.
Hey, Gary?
It's just
They get
Guy Fieri.
Guy Fieri. But would it be Guy Fieri or would it be Guy Fieri Muppet, or is Guy Fieri enough of a Muppet already?
He is enough of a Muppet already.
He is a caricature of himself.
Although I have heard he's actually really nice in real life.
Who?
Oh yeah, I've heard a lot of great stuff about him.
Guy Fieri. He's actually, I've heard, real nice in real life, and he donates a lot of money to charity and stuff like that. Like he's super sweet,
good.
apparently.
That's great to hear.
Where's I thought we were gonna get Gio to argue about Aquaman's worthiness.
Gio, are you still in the chat? Do you want to argue about Aquaman's worthiness?
I need someone to argue against, or like someone to argue against me. So I'm gonna say Anakin Skywalker is worthy.
F
You know
you
what?
from little kid Anakin to all the way past Darth Ghost, Force Ghost.
Guys, I think there's only one man in real life in the history of men that can wield Mjolnir. That's Mr. Rogers.
Is he strong enough to lift it though?
It doesn't matter. It's Mr. Rogers.
Oh, kid Anakin was definitely not worthy. He was worse than that little girl in Wonder Woman.
He was annoying. There's a reason he didn't have a career after that movie.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Mr. Rogers, does he have the fire in the belly to want to wield it though? He wants everybody to get along.
You got a point.
I mean, you do take on certain responsibilities wielding Mjolnir. You have to be willing to go into battle with it.
Nah, Mr. Rogers ain't that type of guy.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it. I like the pure of heart concept though.
I think he could lift it, but he wouldn't use it.
Yeah, right. He'd lift it to put it away.
Or you'd see him just like pick it up to hand it to the next guy. Like someone coming to grab it, and he's like, "Oh, let me get that for you."
Yeah.
Here you go, Guy Fieri.
Guy Fieri.
Take us to Flavor Town.
Could anybody from HDTV wield it? I feel like
the Property Brothers.
Property
HGTV?
Brothers. One of the Property Brothers. Did.
The two that are on the actual show, or like the third one that's not on the show?
There's a third property brother?
Yeah, he's like is he the producer or something? Or
I don't know enough about Property Brother lore.
I know too much about it. Powerpuff Girls.
Blossom, yes.
Bubbles. No, I'm
Bubbles.
gonna go Bubbles over Blossom.
All right, now we got to fight.
I would say Bubbles over Blossom.
Just 'cause, like, the innocence factor of it?
The innocence factor of him. It all comes back for me to that innocence factor and that willingness to do good. And I think Bubbles is more that than Blossom.
Well, Blossom is the toughest fighter.
No, that's Buttercup.
No, in the song, I think Blossom, she's the toughest fighter.
Blossom's the leader.
Blossom is the redhead. Buttercup is the spunky one, and I know this because my fiance has a Buttercup tattooed on her ankle.
Okay.
Is
that how the song goes? Buttercup, she's the toughest fighter. Powerpuff to the thing, fighting crime, to save the world. Here they come just in time. IST In Stock Trades is our wonderful sponsor. They give you your collected editions up to 50% off. Books contain Mjolnir or not. Loyalty discounts add 2% to that. At the end of every month, they are kind enough to give us a $50 gift card to give away to viewers out there in Viewerland. $50 or more in an order in the US of A gets you free shipping. Fabulous customer service, fabulous packaging. That's InStockTrades.com. Now, Megan Moore joined. Hot take, which may or may not have been talked about, IDK, because I just joined. Which Omnibro is worthy?
Yeah, Geo.
Yeah.
Yeah, we established that early on. Geo's the only one of us that could lift it.
Yeah, the theme song
but
for the Powerpuff Girls, and I know that Megan would know this, is Blossom, Commander and the leader.
Okay.
Bubbles, she is the joy and the laughter. Buttercup, she's the toughest fighter.
Okay, Buttercup's the toughest fighter.
Powerpuffs save the day.
All right. Okay. But here's a question, though. Same with Mr. Rogers. Geo could lift it, but he wants everybody to get along. So would Geo use it?
Would Bubbles use it?
I would say yes on Bubbles. She fights bad guys.
That one, the episode where she got really angry.
The repressed rage one. Yes, I know what you're talking about.
This would be like if she wielded it, if she was able to, she'd pick it up with her like nub hand and it would like she would turn into the repressed rage version of herself.
I could see
and
that.
She'd just like berserker everything.
Ming Na in real life, she could wield it.
Yes,
because she does her own stunts and she's like 50 and really just totally has it all.
Could Tyler Blunt wield it?
Could Tyler Blunt wield it?
After he ships the figures.
Yeah, after he moves the hostages. Otherwise, he's kind of shady.
So, Jess, this is going to appeal to you, but Megan is texting me right now.
Oh.
She said, which cereal mascot? The Trix Bunny is out. Then she said, Captain Crunch is a general, so he probably has blood on his hands.
And Tony the Tiger is a steroid user, so he's out.
So what? Where does that leave us?
Well, Count is a leprechaun, so I don't know about that.
Count Chocula's a vampire. He's out.
What about the Snap, Crackle, and Pop?
Oh, we'd have to choose which one of them. They haven't really come out with dominant personalities. They look like they're kind of, they all get along pretty well.
Would they have
anyway,
to
guys,
wield it together?
I gotta peace out, guys. So I'll see you later.
Alrighty,
All
where
right,
can
man.
we find you besides your parents' closet?
You can find me at Comics Guide 101 on YouTube and on Twitter.
All right, thank you, Comics Guide 101.
Bye, guys.
Later.
And we probably only have Ryley for another couple minutes too.
Wait, did you mention? I think I asked briefly, and I don't think we got to get an answer. But MCU Wanda, is she also? I think while the argument about 616 Wanda is entirely solid, I don't think that there's a good argument for MCU Wanda. Not that she's done anything like heinous, but she hasn't shown that she would necessarily be worthy.
Yeah, I think her true personality hasn't been established yet. Now, after seeing, well, I think her true personality has been established, that she is capable of so much repressed rage and grief that she's willing to impose her will on a town and create it subconsciously or consciously. She recreates that town in her perfect little image so that she can live with Vision. She didn't do it altruistically, so I'm going to say MCU Wanda, no. But she's also learning a lot about herself now, thanks to Agnes.
So there's that can open the door to like the possibility of later on that she would be someone that we could deem worthy. But like, yeah, right now, I would say the same thing, that like everything that she did within, like I said, she hasn't done anything heinous, by which I mean like she hasn't done anything like decimate the mutants population. Right. Some of those mutants, which like the loss of their powers caused them to die. But everything she did in Westview was pretty, like you said, whether it's intended or not, there's a lot of bad deeds behind that. But right. When we look at everything, what was it that when Thor, Odin's son Thor, becomes unworthy, what was it that took it away from him? And I think that the main thing was belief in his worthiness.
He lost it?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's basically told that he's told something to make himself believe like, okay, yeah, I'm not worthy. But it wasn't because something really had happened. It's not because of something he did. One moment to the next, he decides that he's unworthy, and because of his own decision about his worthiness, he loses the ability to wield Mjolnir until later on.
Mm-hmm.
And so it leads me to feel that like a lot of the capability of someone to be able to wield the hammer comes from their own belief in the fact that they should be able to or they should not be able to.
The belief that they deserve to?
The belief that they are worthy.
Yeah.
It's not, it's part of it, and I'm not saying all of it, part of it is that self-confidence of like, this is something that I am able to do. This is something that I should be able to do. And so you have, a character like Captain America, or a character like Aurora or Wonder Woman, who goes up and grabs the hammer with that level of confidence of like, this is something that I can do. This is something that like, there's no question in your ability. Like I walk over to my Animal Man figure and I pick it up without a second thought. It's the same thing. Like you're picking it up, not with the idea that like, there's a possibility that if I try and grasp the handle of this thing, that it's not going to let me pull it out. There's no, it's no, like, can I lift the sword out of the stone? This is my hammer.
Yeah.
This is something that I've earned. This is something that I'm able to do. I feel like there is not 100%, but there is a level of that that is part of a character's ability to wield or to not wield Mjolnir.
Now, you said Aurora at one point. What happened to her that that led her to not be worthy?
Oh, I'm just saying, like, there was a story in which she had, actually, I don't think it was. She had another hammer.
She had a hammer. She hammered in the morning.
Let me see, because she had
she have
Stormcaster, but she was on. I sent you that image earlier.
You did?
That the picture. Oh, she's not on that one. Sorry, I thought she was, but I sent you that picture where in one of the comics where Jane was first revealed to have the hammer.
Yeah.
And it went through and it shows Beta Ray Bill, Captain America, Eric Masterson, the Awesome Android, Throg, Superman, and Wonder Woman. It shows just a gamut of characters that were able to. And I love that this was in a Marvel published comic from like 2015 or something.
Yeah.
And it has Superman and Wonder Woman very clearly in this.
Yeah,
lineup.
let's see if I can grab that image and put it up, because that is a cool image.
But I thought that Aurora was on there, but she might have not been. I think that was her hammer, but not Mjolnir.
Let's see. I need to blow this up. Let's see if I'm capable. I got so many things open here. Share. Let's see. Video file, share screen. Application window, your entire screen. There it is. Boom. Look at me. Dr. Technology.
So yeah, I love just the fact that I really like that, because there's a lot of argument between like the how canon JLA Avengers is.
Yeah.
But this is like from a few years ago. It gives you the scene, like it tells you, yeah, that's something that happened. Boom. And like if you can sit there and you're like, well, it could be Superman, but you can't really. It's like, but there's no denying that's Wonder Woman.
Yeah, and that's definitely Superman with the red, with the cape. That was an excellent pull to get that image right away. It makes me really want to start rereading everything so I can reread the Jane Foster part especially. No,
Well,
it's not an Easter egg. It's canon, Marcelo. It's not an Easter egg.
Yeah, the JLA Avengers crossover, the events in that storyline were actually outlined in multiple parts of the Marvel handbook or the official handbook of the Marvel Universe. It outlined in Galactus's pages, in the Grandmaster's page, and a couple of other pages. So it's part of the canon over there. And then in the DC universe, there were at least two storylines that directly followed up on what happened in that story, utilizing events or the cosmic egg or whatever it was, like that appears in it appears in an issue of JLA, and then they reference back to it in a later issue of Trinity. The canonicity was not really there during the New 52 and Rebirth, but with post Death Metal and the linear verse or whatever, where everything is supposed to be canon now, that everything is canon now.
Right.
So there we go.
Well, next Imaginaut, I put it out there to Tyler that we're talking about him. So if he wants to pop back in, he can defend himself. I think he'd be like Mr. Rogers. He'd pick it up and he'd hand it to Guy Fieri.
But he'd only be able to lift it if he sends you Grimlock.
Well, that's true. Grimlock, your sword is waiting. I have it. It came from China. This is a substantial sword, too.
Looks like a letter opener.
It does. I might use it as such.
Well, I'm going to have to get going because I have to return to doing some work tonight.
Where can we find you on the internet, and what is a video you'll be making for me in the similar vein of Star Wars you made for me?
Well, Jess, my friend, let me tell you. So you, of course, can find me on my channel, The Omnibus Collector. I just posted a haul video just a little bit ago, and I this past weekend, I guess, officially hit 20,000 subs on the channel, and
nice.
We'll be doing a celebratory. I haven't announced the time and date just yet, but we will be doing a celebratory live stream, Q&A, whatnot, on Sunday. Excuse me, and that's going to be at 2 p.m. Central.
Will you be giving anything away, or it's just a celebration?
We will be giving something away. I always say we, but then Megan's like, we, it's you. You're the one. I will be doing a giveaway, and I'm going to try and make sure that it's something that is where anyone across the globe is able to join in this. So it's not just domestic. But yeah, 2 p.m. Central. I wanted to choose a time where most people, it's not going to be like the middle of the night if you're across the globe.
Yeah.
So join in. And it's also on Sunday. And if you're anything like us on a Sunday, you don't really have much that you're doing because you get everything out of the way on Saturday. And maybe Sunday, you're just busy mowing the lawn like me. So we'll do Sunday afternoon, live Q&A, giveaway, celebrate the 20K. And then I will have, for the people that are not Jess, I have filmed and need to edit my ranking of the 12 newest Weekly Shonen Jump titles. And then I'm going to start to jump back into doing videos about Western comics by trying to get a series of videos out that are similar to one that I did months ago about my favorite Batman comics. Because that video was it was both me talking about my favorite stories while also giving suggestions for new readers. And I'm going to be doing this for different properties. And one of the first properties I want to do this for is for one of my favorites. And that shelf right over there, my X-Men shelf, everything on that first shelf is all X-Men related. I'm going to be talking about kind of my favorite X-Men books and a somewhat of a guide and advice in how to jump in, how to start reading some X-Men stuff. Where should you start? Where should you not start? So yeah. I'm just working on that and working on, different list ideas and getting back into whatever. But I told people recently, someone had asked me on the video I posted about like not posting comic related stuff. And I was like, I can't make content about anything that I'm not enthusiastic about at the moment, or else my video is not going to be exciting. It's just going to be me talking into a camera.
Yeah, you're not going to have passion.
Exactly. I had filmed my Superman video, and it didn't have the right passion behind it, so I just completely scrapped it. I spent hours. I filmed it like 4 times, and I couldn't get it right. So I just completely scrapped it, and I'm like, I'll return to it at a later date when I feel more passionate about that. And because I want that to come through, and I don't want it to be something that seems forced, because you can tell.
Yeah.
So I'm working on getting back into that because I've left it behind for a little while, and I've only had like in the past 2 months like one Western comic video, and it was just about Falcon and Winter Soldier. So really need to get back on that game. But we're going to start, like I said, probably by talking about the X-Men, just my favorites, some tips and stuff on getting into them. So if you're a fan of the Merry Mutants already,
get to see what I think about certain series. And if you're not a fan of the mutants, then join me so I can help you become one.
Right. And you can find me, Omnidog, on Omnidog's Vault, where I will start making videos again because I'm feeling better. My last video was also about X-Men. It was about how to read Dawn of X for the new reader. And I need more people to go look at that. That took a lot of time and effort to read those books. And I'm not getting the numbers that I thought I would. I thought people would be interested in Dawn of X. But perhaps I misread the audience. And you can also find me on Instagram, where tonight I'm going to upload about 14. That's how I do it. I'm sort of bulimic about it. I just blow it all out and for 1 week and just post a bunch of things and then forget about it for another week. That's on Instagram, omnidogs_vault. And the last question will be from Joe Blair. Jess, good to see you back, man. Thank you, Joe. Any tips on finding figures at Walgreens? Mine is dry as a bone. The best thing is to go up to the manager, I think, and ask when the truck comes in for weekly shipments, and when things are put on the shelf. I found out mine was Friday. Fridays things came in, but it was Saturday morning that everything was put up on the shelf. And excuse me, that's how I found Silver Surfer. But I saw Silver Surfer 3 weeks in a row, and I haven't seen him since. So try to find a Walgreens where the employees aren't all scalpers too. That helps. Mine is a converted Rite Aid, and they're just all Rite Aid employees, so they don't know anything about scalping. They just put the figures out, and when I go buy them, they say, "Oh, these are expensive dolls," and I'm like, "Okay, thank you, bye." So those are my tips. Find out when it's the delivery comes from the manager. You can fix that, Ms. Camarel, for just going and watching my X-Men vid. Oh yeah, New York City. You may have to go to eBay. Sorry, dude.
Take a road trip.
Yeah. Next Imaginaut, I am not a fan of Cerebus. This is the one case where I have a problem with the creator, and it spills over into his work. I try and divorce myself from all that other stuff that's happened out there, but this was a seed that was planted long before the internet and the hashtag was invented. Was Dave Sims' treatment of women and his completely medieval misogyny towards women made Cerebus unreadable for me. So if you enjoy it, I think that's great, but I sold all my Cerebus and probably 15 years ago and have no plans on going back. Oh, I was being cheeky. Okay, cheeky, Next Imaginaut.
I was curious.
That's funny. Okay, well, thank you to the chat, and thank you to our viewers that are watching afterwards. Thank you to InStockTrades.com for sponsoring us. Please like, subscribe, and hit the like button. And thank you to everyone involved. Thank you to my co-host. Thank you to the Omnibus Collector for coming up with this topic. It was a good topic. Peace and love. Peace and love.